Hello students, I am Professor R.S. Deshmukh, Head of the Department of Electronics in SGM College, Karad. I welcome you all in my lecture series on microcontroller. Today we study about 8-bit microcontrollers. Before going to microcontroller, we study or we see what is the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. So this is microprocessor and this will be microcontroller. First thing is that microprocessor is used in computers or it is used in general purpose system. For example, computer is general purpose system, while microprocessor is used in embedded system. So controller is used in, processor is used in general purpose system and controller is used in embedded system. Second thing is that for microprocessor you have to connect at least one RAM, at least one ROM, IO devices, timers, etc. It is connected externally. But in case of microcontroller, these devices, that means RAM, ROM, IO ports, timer, serial communication circuit, they are built in microcontroller. So there will be no necessity to connect these devices externally. Third thing is that because of these external devices, RAM, ROM, IO timers, IO devices, timers, etc., system designed by using microprocessor is somewhat bulky. And because of built-in components, system design or embedded system designed by using microcontroller will become tiny. Fourth difference between microprocessor and microcontroller is that because of this device, it will require more power. Power required for general purpose system is more. In case of microcontroller, only 2 or 3 components are connected externally. That's why it will require very less power. Even at 3.3 volt, microcontroller can work. But for microprocessor, for RAM, ROM, it will require more and more power supply. And because of all these components, cost of microprocessor build devices or microprocessor build system is more. And because of very less components, cost of device constructed by using microcontroller is very less. Then one more difference between microprocessor and microcontroller is that in case of microprocessor, there are less number of general purpose register, while in case of microcontroller, there are more number of general purpose register or special purpose register. So this is the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Computer is the best example of microprocessor system, while its mouse is the best example of microcontroller system. So this is the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Now we move towards the microcontroller. So first we see the microcontrollers that was designed by Intel company. So there are 3 microcontrollers numbered as 8051, 8052 and 8053. These 3 microcontrollers was designed by Intel company. All these 3 microcontrollers are of 8-bit. All they require same instruction set. Then what is the difference between 51, 52 and 53? So we see one by one. So IO pins, that means input output pins. From these pins we communicate with external world or external peripherals. In case of 8051, these IO pins are 32. In 52 they are also 32, and in 53 it is 32. In case of 32 they are also 32. So 32 pins, all 3 microcontrollers having 32 pins for external communication. Then about RAM, that is read accessible memory. This memory is built in this microcontroller, and generally it is used for registers. So in case of 8051, this RAM size is only 128 byte. 128 byte, there will be general purpose memory, scratch pad register, etc. But in case of 52, this memory size is 256 byte. In 8032, it is 128 byte again. So RAM memory size of 852 is double of 8051 and 8032. Then ROM size, read-only memory. On this read-only memory, all programs or all data is stored. So in case of 8051, size of this ROM is of 4 kilobyte. In case of 8052, it is 8 kilobyte. That means if you have required more number of programs or size of your program is more, then we use 8051. In case of 8032, there will be no internal ROM. So suppose that you have to change program regularly, or you have to store more large number of data, so you can connect external memory or you buy to 8032. So this is the difference between RAM ROM size of 3 microcontrollers. Then number of interrupts, all having number of interrupts are 5. One more interrupt is most of the times considered, that is reset interrupt. Then number of times. There are built-in timers in each microcontroller. For 8051, there are 2 timers. For 8052, there are 3 timers. And in case of 802, there are also 2 timers. So this is the difference between these 3 microcontrollers. All these 3 microcontrollers was designed by Intel having same instruction set, but its RAM and ROM size is somewhat different. Now let us study about 8051 microcontroller, that is the basic microcontroller 8051. First of all, we study about its pin diagram. It is 40 pins IC. 8051 is 40 pin IC. Now these 40 pins, each pin having different function. We see the function of each pin in 8051 microcontroller. So suppose that this is the microcontroller IC 8051. This is the pin number 1, this is the pin number 20, this pin number is 21, and this pin number is 40. Now we see the function of each pin. Now pin number 1 is named as P1.0, then P1.1, P1.2, P1.3, P1.4, P1.5, P1.6 and P1.7. So this is pin 2, pin 3, pin 4, pin 5, pin 6, pin 7 and pin 8. So these 8 pins are assigned for port number 1. So there are totally 4 ports. Out of 4 ports, this is the port number 1, that is port 1, and its pin number 1 is named as P1.0. Pin number 8 is named as an P1.7. So this port P1 can be used as an input port or output port. Input port means to transfer data from external peripherals or sensor towards the microprocessor, and output port means to transfer data from microcontroller to external peripherals. So this port can be used as an input and output port. But one condition is that to convert port P1 to input port, you have to make all these pins equal to 1, 1, 1, 1. We are making this pin 1, 1, 1, 1 by giving simple instruction move P1 comma hash 0FFF. So if we give this instruction initially, then all pins are become 111 and microcontroller will assign this port as an input port. So in case of 8051, all pins having dual function, each pin having dual function. But in case of port P1, there will be no dual function and these 8 pins are directly used as an input port or output port. Now pin number 9. Pin number 9 number pin is named as reset pin. 9 number pin is known as reset pin. So if we apply one high pulse to reset pin, then microcontroller will reset. That means it will start its program from its first location, that is 00. All programs are written or word on wrong, and when we reset the microcontroller, it will start its program from its first line. So it will also reset its program counter, it also resets its stack pointer and all that thing. Most of the times RST pin, there will be one capacitor, one resistor is grounded, capacitor is connected to plus VCC. In between capacitor and resistance, this reset pin is connected. This circuit is known as power on reset circuit. So as soon as power is applied, then this reset pin will become high for some time, or reset pin will become high. That will depends upon this capacitor and this resistance, and microcontroller will reset, and as soon as power supply is applied, it starts its program from location 00. So this is the reset pin. After reset pin, pin number 10, it is P3.0 pin. P3.0 pin, then P3.1 pin, P3.2 pin, P3.3, P3.4, P3.5, P3.6 and P3.7. So these are the 8 pins. These are the 8 pins that are assigned for port number 3. So each port pin of port 3 is P30, 31 up to P37. Similar to port P1, port 3 can also used as an input port or output port. When it is used as an input port, it transfers data. We transfer data from sensors or peripheral device toward the microcontroller. And when it is used as an output port, we transfer data from microcontroller towards the peripheral device. Again, there is same condition. To convert port 3 as an input port, you have to give instruction move P3 comma hash 0FF. So at start, if we use this instruction, controller will assign that port 3 is configured as an input port. So this is the 8 pins of port 3. Now in case of port 3, each pin having dual function. That means we can use this port 3 pin for another purpose. So first, port 3.0 pin is used as an R into D pin. This is known as T into D pin. So what is R and D and T and D? So receive data and transmit data. Most of the time we connect the microcontroller to the computer, and data is serially transferred from microcontroller to computer or computer to microcontroller. So to transmit data, P3.1 is used, and to receive the data, pin P3.0 is used. So these two pins are for serial communication. Now pin P32 and P33. These two pins are INT0 bar and INT1 bar. So we know about the interrupts. So when there are two external interrupt pins, P32 and 33. So we connect the interrupt switch. Suppose that this pin is made low, then microcontroller will goes for particular vector location and interrupt program is executed. So these two pins are used for external interrupt pin. Then P30, this is T0, and 35, it is T1. We know that in 8051 there are two timers named as timer number 0 and timer number 1. These timers can be used as counters. So if we want to count external pulses, then for timer 0, external pulses are applied at P34, that is at T0. And to count the external pulses, we can use timer number 1. In that case, we apply the external pulses at P3.5. So these two pins are used for counting the pulses in case timers inside the microcontroller. P36, that pin is known as WR pin, and P36 pin, that pin is known as RD bar pin. So this is read and this is write. You know that in case of 8032 there will be no internal memory, so you have to connect external memory to the microcontroller. In that case, for every memory there will be read pin and write pin. So these WR and RD pins are connected to the external pin, external memory to read and to write the operation. So these two pins are used in case of external memory. So this is the port number 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17 pins. Then we see another pins, 18 and 19. This is XTAL2 and XTAL1. These two pins are used to connect the external crystal. External crystal is connected between 18 and 19 pin. That will give, or internal circuit of 8051 will give square waves inside the controller or inside the controller. So external crystal of 12 MHz or 11.059 MHz is connected in between XTAL2 and XTAL1. Now pin number 20. This is ground pin. So in between ground and in between 40 pin VCC, you have to connect plus 5 volt supply. So plus 5 volt supply is applied between VCC and ground pin. So these are the 20 pins. Now toward this side, this pin is 21. This pin number is 21 number pin. And this pin is P20. This is P20, P21, P22, P23, P24, P25, P26 and P27. So again this is port number 2. It's named as P20 to P27. Same to the port P1 and port P3. This port P2 can be used as an input port or output port. To convert this port as an input port, you have to write move P2, #0FFH. So if we give this instruction, port P2 is converted into input port. Similar to port 3, port 2 having also dual function. So it is A8, A9, A10, A11, A12, A13, A14 and A15. So if we connect external memory to this microcontroller or to 8032, then there will be low order address bus and high order address bus. So high order address bus A8 to A15 is connected to port P2. In that case, we cannot use port P2 as a port, but it is used to transfer address from microcontroller, to give address from microcontroller to external memory. So these are again 8 pin, 21, 2, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 and 28. Now pin number 29. Pin number 29 is PSEN bar. That is program stores enable pin. So when we connect the external memory to the microcontroller, this pin is connected to OE bar pin of external memory. OE bar pin of external memory. So this pin is used when we use external memory. Then on pin number 13, that is ALE pin. ALE address latch enable pin, or it is PROG bar pin, program pin. So ALE pin, address latch enable pin, is used to when we use external memory and it is connected to latch. So when we use same bus to transfer data and address, in that case it is necessary to use AL pin, or in case of multiplexing address database, ALE pin is necessary. This PROG pin, when we programming this 8051, then this pin must be equal to 0. So for dual function of pin number 30 is that. Then next pin is EA bar oblique PPP. EA bar, that means external access pin. If we put this EA bar pin equal to 0, EA bar pin equal to 0, then microcontroller will assume that you are connecting external memory. If this VPP pin is used to connect plus power supply while you burn this microcontroller. So this is 31 pin. Now next pins are from here P0.0, P0.1, P0.2, P0.3, P0.4, P0.5 and P0.6, P0.7. So this is again port number 0. It can be used as an input port or output port. To convert it as an input port, you have to write move P0, comma #0 FF. But not only this, but all pins of these ports must be connected to plus 5 volt through pull-up resistor. So to convert port P0 as an input port, you have to make all pins 1-1 by giving this instruction, as well as all these pins are connected to plus 5 volt through pull-up resistors. Dual function of this port is, this is AD0, AD1, AD2, AD3, AD4, AD5 and AD6 and AD7. That means when we are using external memory, this port can be used as an address data bus. During some clock pulses, it transfer address to external memory. During some another clock pulse, it will transfer data from memory to microcontroller. So these are the 40 pins of microcontroller. So thank you very much.